Hey everyone, welcome to the Joe Giannino show tonight. Great show. We have two special guests on tonight. We have Eddie Van Halen. Yes,
Woo!
that's right. Eddie Van Halen is here tonight. Nah. But anyway, I have great guests. These guests are good friends of mine, worked with them for many years as comics, very talented. And tonight's show is going to be based on two things. Wheels PI, which is a pilot we're going to be shooting. And we're also going to be talking about the industry of comedy and general entertainment as itself. So tonight I'd like to introduce both my guests. I normally tell them one at a time, introduce them, but tonight we're going to do it at the same time. DB Frick and Travis Grant.
How you doing?
What's up?
Good to see you again, Joe.
Good to see you guys.
As always.
Always nice to have my friends on the show and looking forward to working. Let's talk about Wheels PI that we're going to be working on.
Sure, love the idea. Great concept.
We're going to do a sitcom, and we're shooting a pilot for it, is what we're doing. And it's really based upon about a gentleman in a wheelchair, which obviously I'll be playing Wheels, and we take jobs that most people wouldn't take, and we take regular jobs as well, but the concept is that doing things that's never been done or seen on television. DB and Travis both have inputs on this as far as where we want to see this go and what their intentions are. And we are going to be collaborating together on this. Most importantly is getting the right people for the job. So for all the listeners and watchers out there, if you are interested in getting involved, whether it be for auditioning or for if you're a camera guy and you want to shoot the camera or do editing, whatever it may be, all aspects are open. We keep an open mind to everybody because all we want to produce is top of the line product. That's what we're interested in and getting it out there. So having that been said, I'd like my guests to tell you about their ideas about Wheels PI and what they think.
What I love about it is that I can't think of any characters other than Perry Mason in Ironsides,
Right.
who's done a character based around someone who was incapacitated
In a
that
wheelchair,
way.
crippled,
In
whatever.
a wheelchair,
whatever.
yeah, whatever. And I don't think it's out there. I mean, they do it in South Park with the Timmy character, but other than that, I can't think of anything. I even Googled it over the week and tried to find something and haven't found anything. So that's why I think that someone will definitely buy it. I love private eye shows. Cop dramas are the best.
Yeah.
You know, from NYPD, you know NYPD Blue.
Blue,
You were
yeah.
on NYPD Blue.
Yep.
I love the genre. I think it's something new that we could make into a great idea and make a little different. You know?
The whole thing that I like about it is I wanted to do something totally different. See, people in general, folks, they don't know what people in wheelchairs are capable of. They really don't. Most people who see me, they'll go to open up a door for me. If I drop something, they're the first ones to pick it up. They don't know what I'm capable of. And I wanted to portray as the character, basically, what I do on an everyday basis. People are always going, wow, look what he does from his wheelchair. And I smile at them. But I've been doing it for so long, it's not a big deal to me. But to other people who don't see it, I guess it's a big deal to them. So I just started realizing that if I could portray that into a show and duplicate that, I mean, believe it or not, when I was 21, I was a bouncer in a bar. Now, how many guys you know in a wheelchair are bouncers in bars? You know, and no one's ever seen that. No one's ever done that.
Nah, I've never been a bouncer in a bar.
I know.
Definitely not.
You know? And I did it from a wheelchair, and people are like, aren't you afraid about somebody coming from behind you, tipping you over and beating you up and all? You know, you got to understand, when you don't know your adversary, you always, you know, they don't expect anything.
course.
So I got the advantage.
You
Yeah,
got
I'm
a
sure
straight-
you have serious upper body
You
strength.
got a straight shot at the nuts right there. So
Yes.
it's like,
You just bite that thing off of some guys.
We don't go that far back.
I would.
Travis.
they got a real bad bouncer over there, biting people's
Biting
nuts.
dicks all the time. Fire him. He likes to bite dicks.
Wants to bite dicks. I don't know. So, what's your input? When I talked to you, you were so gung-ho and excited to
Yeah,
be
I was
part of
gung ho
this.
about it. It's like you said, not a lot of shows jump on that with the wheelchair aspect. So I think it really shows depth into that, and so you know it does make it newer. You know what I mean? Also, the genre, I feel like it's definitely like a crime drama. Is like crime. It's, you know, it's a genre that has like a definite audience. You know,
They're always
everyone's
the most popular
everyone's
shows.
always going to be into that.
Right.
So, and then you have that, and you throw our comedy in there, and throw everything else, and a bunch of talented individuals in on the project, and I'm just super about it. I think it's going to be a real colorful
Right.
project.
There is other people that we're not mentioning yet for a very good reason, and that's only because of the fact that we want it to be a surprise. So when everything is all said and done, you know, from working with it, from writing the pilot out and starting to shoot and film it, when we take it to be shown to certain people, they're going to be shocked. You know, we want them to say, wow, we want this. This is good stuff. This isn't, you know, somebody just took pen to paper and started writing what came into their heads. This is stuff that was thought about, planned, and they got their acts together. They know what
I'm
they're
looking
doing.
forward to playing with like archetypes of that genre and making
Mm-hmm.
fun of like the My Girl Friday, your secretary
Yep.
or whoever,
Yep.
and the captain that you'd call regularly
Right.
for info or
Mm-hmm.
you know backup or help or something, or you get arrested, you got to call him because I would see you getting arrested.
Absolutely.
I have this image of you cop pulling you over,
Right.
and you like, I'm not getting out of the car.
It's
It's not gonna happen.
No, that's why I said there's so many things that the way to write it can go with this. And every episode is just something zany, something crazy.
Yeah.
All the time. And I want the audience to look forward, like, I can't wait to see the next episode.
I think if it's about the case,
Right.
like it can't, like the backbone of it would be that you're in a wheelchair, but it like the
But
story.
the case has got to match the backbone. That's the whole
Of course,
thing.
yeah, it has to. But I think to really get an audience into it, it's the stories that you're getting into, the crimes that you're
Right.
solving, that I think will really make it interesting. Because once they see that you're in a wheelchair, okay, that's a guy in a wheelchair.
Right.
Now what can he do?
Right.
That's
what's
what it
gonna-
comes down to.
Yes. Yes. And there's got to be certain things. Each individual actor and actress has to come with her own special quality that no one else
Yeah.
will. You know what I'm saying? It's got to
Because
be.
then, like, when the characters find themselves in some type of an endeavor, and then they, like the audience will be like, "Oh, he's good with that.
Right.
We can rely on him." Or like, "Oh, I
It'll be
wonder how
like
this
the
is
show
gonna turn out."
Taxi. You know, you had Jim
Yeah.
Dignatowski. He was known as the crazy guy who was always on drugs and everything. You know, Alex was like the straight guy, but bursted out funny. You know, when you take that, you take the Taxi concept and you put that into a PI show.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Oh yeah, Taxi. I was talking about Taxi yesterday. It's one of the greatest shows.
It was.
It really is.
It's still running on Cozy TV.
Of course, the character, so many characters. That's what made that show so interesting. Is that there were so many great characters that were in that, and totally memorable characters.
Absolutely.
Totally. And that whole thing changed from the 70s, because we're going to talk about industry tonight too. From this, if you look at sitcoms in the 70s, they were a lot stronger and a lot more grittier than what you got when you got into the 80s. You had things like Family Ties and Growing Pains, but you had like the Jeffersons and
All in the Family.
All in the Family
Yeah.
in the 70s, and they really hit on things. There was always, in the 80s, it was moral. Now it's changed a lot more. It's not about moral. It's very different. If you look at something like Scrubs,
Yeah.
Scrubs is so out there and just kind of deranged almost. There is no moral. There's no
Right.
good moral. Even in
Right.
Seinfeld, there was no good moral at the end of
No,
that.
No.
That was the whole point.
Well, they did. That's exactly it. They did what they wanted to do, and they made their characters their own. And that's what everybody has to do: take the part, read it, and make it your own. You know,
Yeah.
go with it. Because everybody, I know when I watch a show, if I don't remember something somebody did, to me the show stunk. That was it. And that's really what the bottom line is. If they don't make the character them. Or I could say, oh, like I'll give you an example, like with Taxi. My favorite was Jim Ignatowski.
Of course,
You know,
yeah.
Reverend Jim. That made me laugh. That guy, you know, I like the scene when he tells Alex, oh, Alex goes, oh, would they get you on drugs? He goes, no, I was already on them. You know?
Right.
That to me is memorable.
Or things like, you're not drunk until you have to claw your way onto you have to hold yourself onto the floor from falling off.
Right.
Which probably isn't even their joke. They probably stole that from something else 20
right.
years earlier.
But it's still, the way he does it, he made it his own.
yeah.
And that's what counts. And that's why, you know, we're going to have a nice young, we're going to have a young and middle-aged class of actors and actresses to play certain roles. And I think between that and where we're going to go with this, as far as we want to shoot on Long Island and some will be shot also in Manhattan, which is also part of Long Island.
I think it would be awesome if you had the hottest wife in the world. The hottest model. Like, she's wanted by everybody, and she's yours. And
I like that episode.
I think that would be, yes, I'm sure you do. But you're always
I think
surrounded
there
by
should be
women.
a sex scene in that too.
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
you?
sure. I've already written in sex scenes. Already imagining it right now. I stopped imagining it.
And I like to talk a little bit now about the industry, what we do as comics and performing, and where we are from, the 80s till today. What has transpired. Look where it's gone.
Oh.
I mean, when I started out, it was 1984. Wow. And it was at the East Side Comedy Club.
I was 7.
Boy, I'm old. And, that back then, there was only comedy clubs. Now today, every comic that I work with, even today, they tell me we play weddings, bar mitzvahs, and coffee houses. And
Yeah,
everything.
Long Island is a great place to do comedy. There's so many shows.
You were telling
all
me
the
on the
time.
telephone when we talked, when we were talking about Wheels PI, that how many stars came out of Long Island?
It's never ending. I think that is totally because of our distance from New York City, because New York City is really the center of the world. It is
But people
Rome.
who grew up.
Group who grow up here. You got from anyone from Jerry Seinfeld to
I mean,
Eddie
if you just
Murphy.
look at the wall at Governors, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
boom, 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 boom,
Yeah,
boom, boom, boom. It
it's
just
amazing.
goes on and on and on.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
end.
insane.
There's Rosie O'Donnell.
Right.
So many. So many great
Everybody,
ones.
and I believe even till today, there's a lot of undiscovered talent on Long Island.
Thank God.
And and
The 2 here.
That's right. I mean 2, 3.
Yeah, 3. I think of you as discovered. I think of you as discovered.
No,
so that's
I'm
why
not discovered yet.
Okay.
But we're working on it.
Okay.
They'll get to know me.
I don't even think he was born yet in '84. You weren't
No,
born yet in
no,
'84. You were born in '87.
91.
You were born in '91.
91.
You piece of shit.
Read them and weep. Read them and weep.
91. Wow.
91, man.
That was the year that Rodney King got the shit kicked out of him.
Dude, on my birthday night.
On your
my
birthday, you were
night.
born?
Really?
Yeah, March
Wow.
3rd.
Wow.
On my
That's
birthday night.
crazy that I would bring that up.
My mom's like, I just went through fucking labor, and it was just, that's all I could see on the TV. And I was just like, sorry, I don't know what you want me to do about that.
So there's a piece of Rodney King in you.
Yeah, yeah, essentially.
which-
Spiritually.
It's horrifying at the same time.
It's a history.
Yeah, it is. It really
It's a
is.
history.
Maybe
yeah.
not something you admit in like a crowded room.
No, you should put that on your resume.
Yeah.
That should be the first thing. I was born the day Rodney King was beaten.
Yeah. And they'll just hire me on
And
the
they'll
spot.
depending on Long Island, if you go further out east on Long Island, you're probably more likely to find someone who will hire you for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I go to Mastic.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I could
yeah.
thrive in Mastic with that credential.
I think the last time you and I worked, Travis, it was at Dangerfields.
Yeah.
What have you done since then? Have you been working or?
Yeah. I mean, that was like what, like a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, it's been a year.
Well, we hope we headlined the whole week there. We were there
Yeah.
the
Oh, wow.
whole week. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I was telling him before. Yeah, we worked there.
Did they put you up in the city or did you?
No,
okay.
we had to drive back
Yeah,
and forth,
yeah.
and it was a
That's how it
nightmare.
goes, yeah.
Me and Joey, and forget.
It's a great club. I
It
mean,
is.
it's a club of history.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say,
It's cool they didn't change anything.
other
It's
than
like-
Pips, I mean, which isn't around anymore.
Right.
That was the club. That was the club that's been around. It's been there since what, 80, 79, something like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
I don't really know.
back in the '80s, the other club besides Dangerfields was the Improv. That's
The
how-
Improv, and then there was Catch a Rising Star. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I worked as a waiter to get spots at Dangerfields. No, not long, like 2 weeks. But dude, like everything's written down.
Yeah.
No electric, nothing. And they were just like, why can't he do what he has to do? And they were like, dude, he's born in '91. That's all he knows.
I guess that's a great excuse to get out of anything.
Yeah,
I was born in
I didn't even
91.
make the excuse. Someone else made it.
Right.
But dude, you have to, you got to write fast.
So what have you been doing? Since then, I
I
haven't
got
seen you in
more
a while.
into stand-up, and I got more into acting. And then, just literally just kept
What are the
going.
clubs you've been playing in the city, or?
Now, recently, it's been a lot of Broadway and a lot of Dangerfields. I'm at Dangerfields. at
Everybody's
11
doing Broadway.
this Friday.
That's
Man.
That's a big one.
Yeah, Broadway is getting very, very. It's up there now.
Yeah.
New York Comedy Club. I've been trying to, get in there a little more. And it's
If you
pretty
do
much-
Broadway, then you might as well go to the Greenwich Village
Yeah.
Comedy Club.
I try not to you have 2 or 3 that you have in mind.
Right. Right.
And just try not to stretch yourself too thin because you'll just go crazy.
I just say that because it's owned by the same guy.
Is it? Oh, I didn't
Al
know.
Martin owns both those clubs and like
Oh, yeah, Greenwich and-
8,000 other clubs.
Greenwich
or
and
something.
Broadway.
Yeah. But great places to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great places. To
I
do
mean,
it.
Long Island, we got the Brokerage, Governors, and McGuire's.
And McGuire's, and then there's one in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
But I mean, who's going to drive 2.5
Right.
hours to
Right.
do 10 minutes?
Probably my first big show I did in the 80s, I opened up for Henny Youngman.
I have a great story. I'm looking forward
I
to.
opened up for Henny Youngman, and working for him, it's a real funny story. The guy who got me involved in comedy was Richie Minervini, the owner of
I know
Eastside.
Richie, yeah, a little
He
bit.
was supposed to do the job, but he couldn't do it. So he says, my buddy Joe will do it. So he calls me up. He goes, how would you like to open up for Henny Youngman? I'm like, yeah, right. He's like, I'm being serious. He's in the
Nah.
Hamptons. He says, I need somebody to go. Would you go? So I says, yeah. So I go. I'm driving as fast as I can to get to the Hamptons and everything. I get there, and I share the same dressing room with this man, mind you. This was like, I was in awe with this guy. So,
He's a very approachable guy.
very nice man.
You could call him up on the phone. He
Yep,
was in the phone book.
Absolutely. Super nice guy, Henny Youngman. So, this is obviously before he passed away, but this is the story. I'm in his dressing room, we're talking, and at the time I was married and my wife wanted to get a picture with him. So he said to us, sit on my lap, and he did. Now, he didn't know it, and no one knew it when they were even shooting the picture, but his zipper was opened. So we have a picture of her on his lap with his zipper open. Now it's time to perform, and I have to open up for him. So I go out on stage, and it's a big stage. There's like 1,000 people in the audience, and literally there is nobody under 70.
Right.
Nobody's under 70.
Right.
The scariest part is I open up with my material, and not one laugh. It's dead silence.
Oof.
And I mean, I hit him with like my top of the line, and I was like, oh God. So I go in, and I'm still doing strong material, and I don't hear anything. Dead silence. So I was like, all right, we have to change this in another direction. So I said, listen, how many people forgot to take their Geritol tonight? Just talk to me here. I need to know. This is funny stuff like this. Somebody die in the family, you got to talk to me, And they were still. So I had to do literally a half hour of this. I did the half hour. I get off stage, and Henny Youngman comes over to me, and he goes, you are one talented, funny man. And I looked at him, I said, Henny, I didn't get one laugh. They gave me a standing ovation to get off the stage. I said, what, are you kidding? He's like, let me explain something to you. He goes, the audience is really here for me. Look at their age. He goes, you're a young guy. And at that time, he was, I was in my mid-20s, 25, 26. He's like, this isn't happening. And
Someone calling us?
is that a caller?
We got calls.
All right, let's get a caller. Bring him
Yeah,
in.
man.
Hello?
What's up, Joe?
Who's this?
It's Tommy.
Tommy.
Okay.
Tommy from?
I'm originally from Syosset. Now I live in Brooklyn with all the faggots.
Oh, nice. What's up, Tommy? What's going on?
What's going on, man? I love your show. I like that you're honest. I like that you're a real honest, regular guy. Like, I'm from the neighborhood and stuff. I don't like PC stuff and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's what I like about you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Sounds like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I always try to keep things real with everybody. As you know, there's a lot of phonyism in the world and a lot of BS, and I
So
like
much.
to say what I like to say. Hate me or love me, I'm in the room. That's what I tell everybody. You may not like what I have to
But-
say, but at least it's the truth.
Exactly. That's what I like about you. You're a funny guy, but you're also truthful guy. You don't shy away from telling the truth about things. People I'm from Long Island, but now I live in Brooklyn because I wanted to be an actor.
Mhm.
That's like a gay thing. I'm not gay, but it's a gay thing, And so people now, they all talk about they're all angry politically and stuff like that. They're all angry at they want to fight about politics and stuff.
Right.
It's so stupid.
It is. You're right. It
Yes,
is stupid
right.
constantly.
Is there a question?
Like, I like Donald Trump. I like Donald Trump.
Oh,
But, like, if you say you like Donald Trump in Brooklyn, you're a horrible person.
God.
You're a Nazi.
Yeah,
but if you
I
say-
like Donald Trump.
But if you say it on Long Island, you're like,
Yeah,
it's
you're
okay.
fine. You're safe zone.
Like, you got to be careful about saying.
No,
you
not
don't-
everywhere. There are a lot of people that still make fun of you on Long Island. You talk about
Yo,
Trump.
Definitely.
Brooklyn is like a death sentence.
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
that's-
They're not with
That's
it at
all
all
of New. That's all boroughs, though. That's really a borough.
But you know
thing.
what? What has Trump done that everybody hates him? That's what I want to know. What has he done since he's been in
I don't
office that
think he
everybody
did
hates him?
anything bad. I think he's done everything good. I
Right.
think that sometimes he says things just like we're talking about tonight, like raw stuff
Right.
that are like truth.
Yeah.
He used to be a lot more articulate, though. If you look at interviews of him in the
Right.
80s,
Right.
he was very good at speaking. He was a
Right.
very good speaker.
Right.
And it's sort of, he's going through everything so fast right now
Right.
that he doesn't watch anything he says.
I mean-
like the Pocahontas thing today.
Right.
I got to be honest.
I thought that
I'm
was
not pro-Trump.
hilarious.
I'm
I
not
thought that was
pro-Trump.
hilarious.
But I think that every time Trump calls Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas, it makes my inside tickle. I think it's so funny. It's awful.
Oh,
it's
it's
awful, but it's
hilarious.
hilarious.
You know what it is? He's a president that knows the truth that no one else does know and tells it. Like, he'll tell you
And the
things.
thing is-
You know, he said it before he became president. He goes, "You think that the president in there is running the show?" He said that. He goes, "He's not running." He goes, "He's got people. He's a puppet. He's
Right.
in there doing." He goes, "I get in office, that shit's gonna stop." You know, and he called it like that. You know, he said it the way it was. I respect that. I respect that he could say something.
Exactly. He's a real man. He's saying what he needs to say. And people didn't used to say that
Right.
as a president. Everybody had to be proper
Yep.
and everything. And everybody was all sort of in the club. And even though he's a rich guy, he's never really been in the club.
No, they
So
hated
he,
him.
like-
They didn't want him to build Trump Tower. They
No.
were fighting that for
Yep.
years. Years.
No, it's true. They, you know what? Trump is a guy that I feel, hate him or love him, he's going to do what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. And if you don't like it, too bad. He's the boss. And only thing I hope that he does is make a difference where other presidents have failed. I mean, he said he's going to bring all the workers back to America and you know, bring these major corporations back that left. I hope he really gets that going and starts that, because our country really is in, you know, serious financial difficulty. And if anybody can do it, what I liked about him to begin with, he's a businessman. I mean, he owned,
Right.
you know, many casinos and properties all over the world, and you needed a president with a business mind. None of our presidents don't even have an eighth of the business sense he does. So I'm hoping that he brings that to the table as the president to make our country financially stronger.
Yeah, Barack Obama had the sense of a guy running like a youth organization
Right.
where he wanted to be nice to everybody. But Trump has that idea like and his stuff is not really as harsh as people think. Like, he's saying if we do this business-wise, it's actually better for people.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, and like
I mean-
people get so angry, like I can't even mention that. If I mention that at a bar hanging out with my actors friends, I'm a white supremacist.
No, you
I'm a
can't.
horrible person.
Yeah,
and then I
especially in the
leave,
acting
and they already
community.
paid the drink, so I get the joke.
Well, listen, Tommy, thank you for calling in. It was a real pleasure. And keep
Listen,
listening.
I love Trump so much, and I like also that, like, people say he's crazy because he gives into conspiracy theories, but they're not really conspiracy theories. There's
No.
things that people have not talked about for a long time, and
Right.
he's bringing it to fruition. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there are a lot of things that he says that are so controversial because you're not allowed to say them. But he's actually saying things that are truth. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
you said you're an actor. Have you worked on anything recently?
I was an extra on the President Show, the Comedy Central show where they imitate Trump. I was an extra.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Did that hurt? Did that hurt?
Nah, it didn't hurt. I was getting paid.
Oh, right. Okay. That was nice.
Listen, Tommy, I hate to cut you. I just got to finish the show up, but I thank you for calling in. I really appreciate
I
that.
thank you, sir, for having me here. I think that like there's a lot of conspiracy theories that people don't think about that are really true. Sandy Hook is a big one. I think Sandy Hook is a big conspiracy. It's a big falsehood. And
You know
people
what?
should
Maybe
talk
one
more
night.
about that. I know it's very
One night we'll do
controversial,
a
but,
conspiracy theory show. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll make fun and joke around and have some fun with conspiracy theories. But thanks for calling. Got to go.
All right, one love.
One love.
One love.
One love.
To change the subject, to go back what you were talking about. You were talking about Henny Youngman. You had a great story.
Yes.
I have a great story about Henny Youngman, too. I used to work at the West Bay Music Fair many years ago, 93. You were 2. 93.
I remember this.
And
I remember this.
he
It's
was one of the
crazy.
ushers. I was an usher there, and one day it was Sid Caesar, Milton Berle, and Henny Youngman. They were doing a show together.
Okay.
And I was the guy sent to bring them into the building. So first shows up is Sid Caesar, and I'm so nervous. I'm like 14 at the time, 15, and I'm like, oh my God. Even then, I was into that stuff. I was watching the old comedy.
Right.
So he comes in, and I'm sort of like a little afraid. He walks in, and I don't say anything to him. I bring him to his room, and I don't say much. He says, thank you. I let him in. I'm like, okay, next guy who comes, I got to talk. I have to say something to them. Milton Berle comes in next. And he's very gregarious. He's got his cigar. He's very happy, and he gives me a 50-cent tip after I bring him to we talk a little, nothing specific. He gives me a 50-cent tip. I was like, oh, wow, I keep it. Then I bring in Henny Youngman, because that's the interesting part of the story. I bring in Henny Youngman, and I'm like, okay, I didn't talk to Milton Berle enough. I've got to say something. So I ask Henny Youngman as he's coming in. I bring him in. I was like, I'm trying to be a comedian. Even then, I wanted to write comedy. And I asked, do you have any advice for somebody? I think it's funny because your story is very similar. I asked him, like, what do you have any advice? And he says, just because people don't laugh doesn't mean it wasn't funny. So your story is an example of the same thing. It's the same thing. Also, Milton Berle asked for his 50-cent tip back for a soda. He asked me to go get him a soda with the 50 cents. So he was definitely setting me up for that bit. But I love that we both met Henny Youngman. I think that's great.
That's Milton Berle. That's funny though.
Yeah.
He got his back his 50 cents. That's something Uncle Milty would do.
Yeah, it's totally.
Yep.
I've been watching a lot of his other stuff.
All right, I have a question for both of you. We'll start with Travis. Travis, all time. I don't care if it was from the 1920s till today. Who do you think? Who do you think one of the funniest comics that you like the most? What comic were you interested?
Oof,
that
that's tough.
What made you want to be a comic?
Made me want to be a comic? Dave Chappelle.
Nice.
Yeah, made me want to be a comic. My dad always watched comedy growing up, like when I was growing up, and so it was just always around. But I mean, I was young, like I was like 7 or 8, so I didn't get the jokes. I didn't know what they were talking about. There was something about one guy being on stage and just like conducting this room and just doing whatever he wants with it. That just like appealed to me.
Wow.
And then I just kind of always followed it as I got older. But yeah, I remember I was 14 when the Chappelle Show came out, and I was like, I want to do sketch comedy. I want to do stand up, and this guy makes me want to do it. And that was that.
Dave Chappelle. Okay.
Dave Chappelle. I'd say Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
I had 3.
Dave Chappelle's one of my favorites.
That's
too.
also a tough. That's also
Yeah.
a tough question
Hard to
because
get down to 1.
sometimes like I'll wake up or I'll come home from work or
The
whatever.
reason why I'm doing this, I'm going to show you the
Yeah.
different age groups here.
Yeah.
guys.
Oh yeah, mine is
Yeah.
different. Like it was Johnny Carson, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and George Carlin.
Okay.
Those were the 4. Johnny Carson, just watching Johnny Carson, the way
Eddie
he
Murphy
would.
was a monster.
Oh yeah, Eddie Murphy. He was
In
one of the
80s,
funniest.
yeah.
Eddie Murphy
And
was
you know
there.
what? I've heard talking to a comedian friend of mine recently. You can't read Eddie Murphy's material.
Right.
You can't
No.
read it and it be funny. He has to do it because
Right.
he's doing all these voices just written. It's like, it's almost not funny.
Right.
But he was just great.
It's
George
his
Carlin's so
delivery.
political and.
Well, George Carlin is one of my favorites too. But I go back to, I don't know if you've really ever looked at them to watch them, but the movies of the Marx Brothers.
Of course, yeah. Coconuts
Yeah.
and Day at the Races,
right.
Night at the Opera. Yeah,
The Marx Brothers, Abbott and Costello.
good stuff. of
That's
course.
the stuff that made me want to be a comic, though.
The Marx Brothers was smart.
They were ahead of their
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Way ahead. They're doing material back then that in today's, where in this generation, in this year, like they use words back then that just started that's being used today, and it was back then they were so far in advance. And one, I can't remember the line that the three brothers were talking about, but it was Groucho who gave the punchline, and I said they didn't use lines like that. They use that today, but back then no one's heard of that.
Right.
And I was like so devastated by that I caught that, and I was like, that's incredible. You know, now when I look at them and I say they really are ahead of their time. Back then, to me, I own all the videos of the Marx Brothers, and I can watch them all day long.
And the funniest guy hardly did any of the movies.
Yeah.
Zeppo.
Yeah.
Zeppo was even Groucho said that Zeppo was the funniest.
And, you know, it's amazing. Harpo and Chico were my favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
Harpo and Chico were my favorite.
Those are great movies. They even redid one. They redid one with John Turturro, a couple of other guys, Brain Damage or something like
Yes,
that in the
Brain
mid
Damage.
'80s, late '80s, and they tried to remake. I think they were like mashed a bunch of them together, and it just didn't really work
Right.
because
No.
it wasn't them. How
No,
can you remake? It's hard to remake comedy like that.
It is. You know, it's a totally different element. You know, people go to school. I have friends of mine that come to me, Joe, I just joined this comedy school, and I said to them, I said, well, why are you going to school to be a comic? And they're like, well, we want to learn.
Watch it.
I said, yeah, you ain't gonna learn comedy in school. I said, but let me explain something to you. And I said, and I tell this to all my friends that come to me. Comedy is a gift that you're born with. If you got a personality and you're naturally funny, you could do comedy. But if you're a stick in the mud, unless your comedy is very dry and you deliver it really well, you're not making it in the business.
Right.
You're just not.
There's some techniques that
right,
you can
right,
learn, you
right.
know, repetition, stuff like
How
that.
to work an audience,
Yeah.
things like that, timing, fine. But there are people that just aren't born funny. They're just not funny. And they want to be comics. And that, to me, is funny in itself because they're not funny.
Right.
And when I look at them, I tell them, I said, I got a better shot walking than you do making anybody laugh. It ain't happening.
That's a good line.
It's like being born without a voice and then trying to sing. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something that's kind of like
Right.
That's deep.
like a gift that's kind of given to you.
Yeah,
You can become a better singer.
Yes.
But you can't against someone who's like Whitney Houston was made to sing.
Right.
That's what she was brought on this earth to do.
Absolutely.
You can't if you don't have a voice, you can't shake a stick at her. It's
No.
over.
Yeah.
It's true, though. It's
agree.
very true. For, and I don't want to shoot anybody's dreams down because if you're an inspiring comic and you want to be funny,
Yeah, no,
you
definitely
go out
don't.
there,
Yeah.
go for it. I'm just telling you, people need to realize, like, I never woke up one day going, hey, man, I'm going to be a dance instructor when I get older. It's just not going to happen.
I feel like
That's funny though.
Yeah.
If we did a sketch where that was your dream and you want to be a dancer, and you know what, we could make it happen. We can make it happen where you can dance in this thing. You know you can dance in
Oh,
this thing.
yeah, I mean, I've
listen,
done
I
that,
know what the fuck I'm talking about.
That's the best thing about going into the clubs with the girls. You want to slow dance and they sit on your lap.
Yeah.
Then I'll have you come and grab the back of the chair and move
Move
for
it,
me.
right.
So I can do other things. I ain't worried about it. Listen, we're going to go to a commercial break right now. We'll be right back with more of the Joe Giannino show. Stay tuned. Hey, we're back on the Joe Giannino show. We're here, we're all together. And right now with me, I have my good friend and partner, Joey Petroni.
What's up, man? How you guys doing, all right?
What's going on? Your radio show's taking off really well.
Yeah.
You're doing good. Talk to me about it.
WGBB 1240 on the AM dial. You can listen live on the internet. It's a lot of fun, man. Having a good time,
Good.
What's the subject matter? What do you like to talk?
Well, last show I did was a Thanksgiving Day show. Just
It
talking
was
about
really
the
good.
Oh, you
Oh,
okay.
the
Cool.
do's and don'ts of Thanksgiving. What to do and what not to do. I could tell you what I did the week before Thanksgiving. My wife and I, we live in Massapequa, right here at Massapequa Park, and I hung up flyers around town. I was trying to do a food drive. You know, every year someone does a food drive, and nobody was stepping up this year, so we did it. And I hung up flyers in town, in the IGA and stuff like that, to bring your perishables over to my house, and you could leave them in the garage. The garage door's kind of broken, so you could just leave them in the garage. And it was great. People bringing stuff over, you know. So we went away the weekend before Thanksgiving. We went away, and when we got back, there was raccoons and squirrels
you got into
and
it?
mice.
Sounds delicious.
They ripped the turkeys open. They ripped everything open. And my wife's like, "You're an idiot." I put perishable. It should be non-perishable. So they brought over any and everything and put it in my garage. I had rotten turkeys. There was, I mean, seriously, it was disgusting, man.
And then
my whole garage had
smelled like
meat.
shit.
You find yourself serving raccoon instead.
Yeah, it was like there was even like raccoon crap in my garage. It was horrible, man.
So just like a big pressure cooker.
That was
Yeah.
actually Bijou.
There was
Sorry
no.
about that.
Was that you?
Yeah.
So there was no canned goods or anything. It was just all like ripped open. They had pasta, lasagna. They, I guess they thought I was gonna put everything right in the refrigerator. So it was horrible. It backfired on me.
Well,
So
I-
remember,
No
remember,
bueno.
folks, non-perishable foods, right? So,
Also, besides him being a disc jockey for the radio, he doesn't talk much. Very modest guy, Joey. But I will tell you this: very, very, very talented DJ as well. He does weddings, birthday parties, you name it, he does it. You know what? He does some crazy things too. And the last time I spoke with him, he didn't even know it. He was in a cemetery looking for medals or something like that. What were you doing that day? I forgot. You were
I had
telling me.
a metal detector.
Oh, yeah.
I was digging up stuff, and I got like I was finding jewelry and stuff like that.
Right.
And I found gold teeth, and then I realized there was busted up tombstones behind me. I was probably digging up
Oh.
No.
gold teeth from a freaking coffin. But
You
it
didn't
was
know
old,
it.
man. It was
It
like
was great.
1800s.
You sold them, right? I would sell them.
I threw everything back.
Oh, I would sell it.
No,
He
man,
didn't want any bad
I didn't
juju.
want nothing. I just threw everything right back. Pretty much where I found it.
Oof.
So yeah, it was. That
He
was-
gets caught up in so many funny things, It's just so funny.
So how was your Thanksgiving, guys? Was it good, man?
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, had dinner in Broad Channel
Yeah.
at a
You get to
restaurant.
see the relatives that you only see once a year, that you only want to see once a year.
Yeah, only want to. Want to is a strong term, even want. But I was there. I showed up. I ate. So I hadn't eaten that much in a long time. I was forcing myself through that meal. The plate was so effing big, but I forced myself through it. I did it.
Do you guys ever use the deep fryer for your turkeys? The
We
deep fryer?
we used to.
Yeah.
Like when I was like a kid.
Right.
And then for whatever reason we stopped doing it, but it was
It's pretty cool,
phenomenal.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good, man.
It's got to be in there for like a while too.
Yeah, my neighbors were using it now. It kind of brought back memories because when my wife and I first got married, we lived in a trailer park.
Yeah.
And we were looking out the window on Thanksgiving, and we were just gonna have like BLTs, 'cause we were living out, and we didn't have any family, so we're making BLTs. And I went over there, and I threw frozen bacon. When my neighbor was done
Yeah.
with his turkey, I threw frozen bacon in the
his
the
cooker?
deep fryer outside, and it started spitting.
Oh, yeah.
So we just like left, and we had like just lettuce and tomato sandwiches. I left the bacon.
Damn.
I left the
That's a
bacon in
rough
there.
Thanksgiving.
The greatest Thanksgiving ever.
We went to the movies, and when we got back, there were still fire trucks there, man. The whole side of his house went up.
Oof.
From the bacon,
Oh.
the grease and
Did you
shit.
take responsibility for it?
Nah.
As you-
Yeah,
It was just.
putting the gold
Nah,
teeth back. I
man.
don't want bad juju, but
Oh.
I'm not gonna tell you. But
As he just closed the blinds.
that was years ago, man.
Right.
That's back in the heyday. But
Do you remember what movie you went to see? I don't know why. That's what I'm curious about.
man, I'm not even sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I spoke with him on the phone Thanksgiving. I said,
Oh,
"What are
you-
you doing tomorrow?"
It was the Wedding Singer, Adam Sandler.
Oh wow.
Yeah? Oh,
okay.
shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
1996 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So no, I didn't say. Actually, it just really got this deciding. Like the inside of the house was all right. The guy was cool, man. He was drinking beers and shit. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fess up to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless I have the money to pay for it, why would I say anything?
Of course not.
What happened with Black Friday with your daughter? You told me you would take her to a show with Black Friday.
Yeah,
was
I
all
took my
about.
kids out to Black Friday. They were falling asleep in the parking lot. It's horrible. We went inside. My wife and I looking around. We just left them laying on like the racks. Just like put them under the racks, put some clothes on top of them. We got some good deals. They slept well.
I did Black Friday with my mom at midnight at Best Buy,
Right.
and there's a line outside, and I'm waiting on it, and she's in the car, and I call her. I'm like, I don't really want to wait on this line anymore. So she goes inside, and tells the manager that she's not feeling well and that she would like to get her, like if she could get her stuff now, that would be great.
Right.
So we didn't have to wait.
There you go, man.
Hey,
It was awesome.
strategy.
And I never do Black Friday. I don't.
I did Black Friday once, and it's so true what you just said, because there's a line. People literally slept out the night
Of
before.
course, it's disgusting.
I pull up, get out of my car, and the guy goes, "You," points to me, right through the front door before everybody that's been
Yeah.
sleeping out there. He let me in. I was like, they're gonna kick the shit out of me, wheelchair and
Oh,
over.
Get it.
Let me tell you something about Black Friday, all right? And if you have good health insurance, go for it. Otherwise, man, you're gonna walk out with no teeth,
Yeah.
nowhere to go. But
I'm
you got
surprised
your
no
TV.
one got killed this year.
That's
almost
what happens.
every
They
year
trample
someone gets
people,
killed,
man.
yeah.
Yeah. So like Black Friday to me, it's like for me personally, I can handle it. But I'm not bringing my family into a Black Friday.
Yeah,
All the
no,
pushing
that's
and shoving. They
the
bring
guy-
out a pallets.
And then we had on Monday was Cyber Monday.
Right.
Yeah.
Tuesday is Go Fuck Yourself Tuesday.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my favorite. That's my favorite.
Truthfully, if you know what you're doing, you can get stuff for free, but you have to have a long jacket and you gotta watch out for the security cameras.
Oh, that's theft. Yeah,
That's it,
that's stealing.
Well, that's
Which
my-
I'm game for. I'm totally game for that.
That's back in the day, man. I don't do that no more.
I had a jacket that had holes in it. I had this brown leather. I think I still have it. It has a hole in the pocket. I would just put stuff. I could just fit
like in the
so-
back.
Oh yeah. it would
He
fit-
says he don't do anything. He's pushing my wheelchair, throwing stuff behind me as he's pushing shit out the door.
Yeah, and this weasel, he's
That's
like,
the
oh
best
no,
one.
he's like, no, they got security at the door. I'm like, he goes back and puts everything back. I'm
As soon
like,
as the alarm goes off, I play retarded.
they don't have alarms. They don't have alarms for Kit Kats. You know, Kit Kats. What do we have? Snickers bars.
Yeah.
What was that? Jack in the Box. What are those caramel popcorns?
Oh, there's a delicious
Oh,
yeah,
those
Cracker
things.
Jacks.
Cracker Jacks.
Cracker Jack.
And you're
They're
saying
gonna arrest you for Cracker Jacks.
That's hilarious. You're saying you'd act mentally
Yeah,
challenged.
That's it.
I used to do that on the Long Island Railroad to get free tickets. I would get on there. I would buy the $1.75 ticket, and then when the conductor would come to me, I would thank you. I would just, and it was awful. I'm a terrible person for doing it, but I'm an awful person. But I would get free tickets, thousands of dollars, and free rides to the city. I would never be who I am. The failure I am now, I would have never been.
I should have did that. I tried to never that I was retarded, but I tried to pretend that I was sleeping.
Oh, I was never actually
Yeah.
retarded.
Oh yeah, I know that. But yeah, the guy was like, yeah, the guy's gonna buy it that I'm sleeping. He took his pointer finger and just jabbed it like right in my throat. I was like, what the fuck,
The
man?
conductor?
Yeah, and
Wow.
he's like, yeah, I've seen it all before. I was like, fine, dude. I'll pay for the ticket.
Wow.
Like
That's-
he was playing no games.
They don't even take IOUs anymore.
No.
You used to be able to get on there and be like, look, I can't pay for it. They'd take your license down. They'd send you a bill.
They don't do
won't-
that no more?
They won't do that anymore.
You
'cause-
can buy it like a ticket electronically,
phone,
but
yeah.
you have to have it already before you get on.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you can also take a picture of that ticket.
Wow.
And you can
Yeah,
show them
yeah.
the ticket, and you can use the same one. You
Well,
could
there's
get
a-
away with the same, maybe not. They might want to,
Right.
but they might
Where
check
there's
the
a
date.
will, there's a way.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet. I haven't, because what happens is by the time I
Do it retardedly. They won't check.
on the way back, my phone is always dying on the way back home, so I'm always under this incredible anxiety that I'm not going to be able to show the ticket to the guy in time. Always. That's the problem with that for me.
All I know is it's like an up and down roller coaster going out with Joe. Especially both names. He's Joey. They call
I
me
must
Joe.
get confusing. Yeah.
That's why they nicknamed me Wheels.
Okay.
Joey Wheels.
Oh, it has nothing to do with the wheels?
Nah.
Oh, okay. That's a, yeah, okay, cool.
It's just that he was walking.
So the sitcom sounds good, man. You guys into it or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
dude.
love the idea.
Yeah,
I
really
look
into
forward
it.
to being part of it and making it happen, and I think
Joey's going to be part of it also as well. He's always in there with me. And
Joe's a badass dude.
this guy?
You're badass.
I try.
You're really badass.
I try.
Yeah, one
What
day
I
we were
wanna
in
s-
Brooklyn.
I want to see you. I like have this dream that you have like the smallest little puppy at home, and it's a red poodle.
Right.
And I'd love to see this
Right.
you with the poodle.
I'm
That
thinking
would be-
I'm thinking like Brolic Rottweiler.
Well, no, that would be yeah. I'm making it ironic.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if
The
you
The
had a little
opposite.
poodle,
The opposite.
poodle,
Yeah.
but
Well,
yeah.
I got 3 St. Bernards actually.
Okay,
Oh,
that makes
there you
sense.
Walking out of here and getting into a Honda Odyssey with car seats in the back.
That's
doesn't make-
hilarious.
That
I
doesn't make
thought
too
that
much
last
sense.
Yeah, park around the block.
Right. So yeah. it's too
Yeah, you
cold.
can actually change your look. You put on a sweatshirt last
Right.
week. You went from the leather to the
Yeah,
sweatshirt.
yeah.
I don't
and
think
you put your hair in a ponytail.
Yeah.
Totally different person.
I don't think I've ever seen you in any other attire but this.
This is the way I go out, man. You know, once in a while when I got to deal with certain people, get new jobs on the landscape. You know, I have a landscaping business.
Yeah.
If I go meet clients, I don't show up like this. You know, I show up
Yeah.
with a sweatshirt on and stuff like that. But yeah, enough
Party
about me,
episode.
man. I want to talk about you guys in the sitcom, man. I want to hear more about the sitcom because I'm excited about it. Do you know the roles you're playing? You're helping write.
Yeah, I don't. I'll write myself in at some point, I'm sure. But yeah,
You've written before. I've read your credits.
Yeah, I wrote a couple of jokes for Conan. I was writing for the National Lampoon for a while
Nice.
and doing reviews for the New York Theater Guide. And
Right.
actually have a one-man show in the new year and doing a reading of a sitcom that I wrote that I'm
Okay.
doing a reading of in probably February.
Okay.
That's what I have coming up. I don't have any comedy dates.
Okay.
I do a lot of open mics now.
Very
Not
cool.
really
And
getting
Travis also has been a big help. He literally put the word out. For all the people that are watching tonight's show, so you know, Travis, who referred you to me, if I didn't speak to you or I didn't get back to you, it's not that I'm ignoring you. Travis probably told you I've been bombarded with everything. This week we're going to have our first meeting, but guess what? I'm going to be telling Travis, and he's going to be letting everybody know when and where and the time to get together. So I want to have a meeting, let everybody know who's involved, what's going to happen, what's expected, what's not expected, basically all the do's and don'ts, and to get everybody on board so we can start making this happen, because I want to start production by next month, the latest. All right, I want to just at least get certain things done. I realize that Christmas is coming, so that's going to put a damper on certain things. But after that, it's full steam ahead after the new year. And that's why I want to have meetings to organize, the crew. We need the camera crew and all the equipment to shoot certain scenes that need dollies and this and that. Also, we need the special effects crew. And I want to thank those guys that are getting involved in donating their time and their cameras and all their effort, and helping to make this happen. It's very much appreciated. And like I told everybody, even though we're all not getting paid for this, this flies and gets picked up. It's a home run for everybody, and it's a great credit.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Either way, it's a win-win, and you're a part of something. And you'll meet and make new friends at the same time.
It's networking. That's what
Yeah.
I know that I'll get out of anything when I go out and I meet people. And
Well,
do stuff like that.
that's always a guarantee.
Yeah.
You're always gonna meet new people and meet. Never like put down like, oh well, I may not meet their. Every person is the right person.
Yes.
Like you have no idea.
Yeah, I've told a lot of people to go to hell, and I wish I didn't. Yeah, I've told a lot. Yeah, even today.
And like you say, yeah, I'm super pumped about this, man.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
especially because I play the nephew, and I'm really pumped. I want to like make him a super likable character, and then
You're playing Joe's nephew?
yeah,
Okay.
and then because I keep getting into questionable endeavors, and he has to pull me out of them.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. That's
Yeah.
a great.
And
yeah.
so I really want people to like kind of really like me, and then I let them down. They're just like, oh, why'd you do that? And then but they're always rooting for me, and that's I've been literally just playing this through my head and how I exactly want to bring this guy across. And
So Uncle
yeah.
Joe's gonna be pulling you out of trouble a lot.
yeah, that's
Nice.
pretty much what it is. But I think it's gonna be
Yeah, man, that's
a real great
yeah.
element for the show. It's gonna be
I'm
phenomenal.
supposed to be a computer hacker. He
Yes.
wants me to be sort of a computer hacker.
You
in
have
this-
all knowledge.
You got the look of that. You got the look of a computer genius.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He can hack into NASA, anything.
Yeah.
And I wanted.
He'll be hacking into your nephew's computer to see what the hell he's doing.
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
He could do anything with it. That's
Pornhub.
the character.
The hell
That's
is
the
this?
character I envisioned for him. He could do anything, literally anything. Like that guy who hacked into NASA's files, and he had to go to the other country there to escape because they were gonna.
Oh, Snowden.
Yeah.
Edward Snowden. Yeah, sort
So
of.
I picture you a
He
guy
would be a
like
friend of mine. He would
Right.
definitely be some. Yeah.
Right, somebody you know, and then the rest of it is like Joey and three other guys. These are my investigators that go out, and they're like the guys, like, instead of me having to mix it up sometimes with people, I just say, look, you know what, I don't have to get tough, because when I get mad, they get tough, and then they step out, and I have my own core group of investigators that'll go on certain jobs with me, because we know we're walking into a dangerous situation, and these are the guys you want with you.
Right.
So I had different, and what you said to me, and I totally 1,000% agree with you, was that when you're writing it, you have to visualize what you're writing. In other words, when I was thinking of him writing for him as my nephew getting into trouble, I saw him doing certain things that he would do, and getting into trouble with it, and that's what made it to me work for the TV show. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't, when you're writing, because you're going to be basically, you know, the guy putting it all together, you got to see it. If you don't see it, I want you to tell me, because I need to know what your vision is, because everybody has their own visions on everything. But I know we'll agree on most of the stuff, but even the stuff that we don't agree on, there's always going to be the middle. And the bottom line is this: if you could see it happening, like when they drive a car through the wall, you visualize the bricks flying everywhere, flames. You know what I'm saying? You have visualization, so you know what you're looking for. So the director knows that. You know, when he's directing, he knows what he wants. He has a vision. He sees it and he goes for it. It's the same thing when you're writing. When you're writing for a specific person to be involved in it, that's what you want done. You know, you wanna put it to pen to paper that you can see him doing that.
You know, there was a picture that I saw of you on Instagram, I think, and you have a ventriloquist puppet behind you.
Yeah.
And I think like that I see as a character.
Mm-hmm.
You interact almost like Otto and George. You are interacting
Right.
with your
Right.
puppet.
It looks real, right?
And it did look real.
Right.
I like the idea of him, you know, helping you make decisions.
Yeah.
It's funny to me.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I drove around a little bit like that. It was
Yeah.
funny. It was funny, yeah. But yeah, you're right. You're thinking outside the box too, man. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you got the obvious and then you got the outside the box stuff, you know.
Right.
And that's what you guys should do. I mean, you can tell me you're quick. We only have a couple minutes, like 4 minutes left, but I don't know if you want to throw it in the sitcom situations where even your nephew could be like your son now. Like, you're getting all the chicks in your wheelchair. Your uncle Joe's getting all the chicks, right?
Yeah.
He's getting all the ladies, man. You know, and what he's doing is he's getting sympathy dating. The girls like him. You tell him, right?
With the wheelchair.
Like he goes up to him and says, "Listen, I know you're not going to like me because I'm in a wheelchair." And he turns it around. Like 2 or 3 drinks later, he's going home with him.
Yeah.
Now you're his nephew. You see your badass uncle doing that. So now on the weekends, you're taking his wheelchair and you're going out. You're picking up chicks in the wheelchair.
Oh yeah, and that even just sets up a whole.
Sets up the whole
Sneaking
thing.
it out after
Situation
he
for
goes
problems.
to bed.
Right.
Right.
No,
I got to
no,
call
no,
you up.
no,
I'm
he's
going to
leaving
be
Uncle-
late to the office. You know.
He's
No,
lea-
I mean he's taking the wheelchair after he goes to bed.
Right, and Uncle Joe wakes up with no wheelchair.
Yeah,
But and the scene,
because he got arrested.
No, the scene shows him waking up with a chick. You know,
That's hilarious.
right?
Yeah.
He's getting up, going bastard. You know, he's crawling around, going to get a bowl of cereal, and this guy's getting out
And
there.
then he's with the chick, and he gets up out of bed and walks.
And
And
she
the
goes,
chick,
and then the chick goes,
sees
"You
him.
bastard! You can walk, right?"
That's great. That's a great setup.
Yeah, that's
That
a great
type of,
setup.
but that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
the type of stuff that
Yes.
you two,
right.
It's a great
Travis
storyline.
and Joe, can do, man. That'd be awesome. You know.
Yes.
a great
is very-
storyline.
That
Yeah.
is.
There's a lot of directions you can take it with each individual character work.
Oh,
Like that could be something
absolutely.
with me and you, or you and him, or you
Right.
guys, or me
Right.
and you know what I mean. Like you could just.
That's what I really enjoy about, you know, Wheels PI is that it's a cop show. You know, even though I thought of Wheels Investigations, and I don't know, Wheels PI.
I'd love if you had a gambling problem, maybe even a drinking problem.
I could do gambling real well.
Yeah.
I have no problem.
You like to gamble?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Okay, I do too.
7 days a week, morning, noon, and night.
Oh, is that a metaphor for something else?
Every day. No, every day. Gambling? Not a problem. I have no problem gambling. I gamble with no problem.
Okay. I'll remember that. I'll write that.
All right. So listen, Joe, we got 3 minutes left.
Okay.
Why don't we just talk about where do you see yourself on the sitcom in about a month from now? Where we're going to be at? What do you guys think, man? We're going to be writing.
I see from a,
We're
mo-
gonna
a
have a
month
crew?
from a month from now, we'll definitely have a 15-page script.
Yeah.
And you know, we'll have a story within that. Within that 15 pages, there will probably be 10 to 15 scenes, probably about a page and a half each scene. You know, funny dialogue between two people, really
Yeah,
funny things.
I think that
happen.
the writing will really be
Ready.
on its way.
In about a month from now.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. It's
That's
always,
why I want to do this meeting. The meeting is very important
Yeah,
that
we'll
everybody
have
turns
yeah
out.
we'll have our extras in.
As
Yeah.
you're writing, you'll figure out who you need.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to do a reading of. I mean, doing a reading of it before we do a production of it is a is
100%.
necessary.
Right,
I'm
absolutely.
I agree
Storyboarding
with
it
that.
before we do
Yes.
that is important too. You know, we need a
Absolutely.
good
So you gotta
100 pictures.
just got it down packed.
It doesn't even need to be good, well drawn. They just need to be drawn. You know, something, some kind of storyboard.
No, I agree. No. And that's why I said I want everybody to show up, because there are people that are going to be auditioning, believe it or not, that have the talent to do storyboard drawing. You know, and I can do that. And I want that. And I say, look, do this.
You get people out of college.
Yes.
People are coming out of college right now. People who are seniors and juniors and stuff. Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's where you go.
All right, we got 1
Yeah.
minute, Joe. Why don't you tell them how to contact us, and if you're
Yes.
interested, one last time.
Yes, listen, anybody who's interested in getting involved and the pilot that we're going to be doing together. If you're interested, or if you have any skills, filming, editing, whatever it may be, call me. You can reach me at 631-816-8687. Give me a call, and we'll set you up. Come down. If you missed the meeting, we're going to be having several meetings. That's one. And also, to my friends out there, obviously, all the guys out of comics, I got parts for you, so don't even worry about it. I always take care of all friends. Everybody, thanks for watching the show. Thanks for tuning in. I love you. Be blessed. Thank you.